I've always ran with the in crowd, done what everyone wanted me to, and spent way too much time trying to please everyone. My parents expected only the best from me, and they sheltered me from so many things. This led me to rebel when I turned 18. I headed off for college, but I refused to live in the dorms, which made my parents angry. They wanted me to have a normal college experience and pledge a sorority, move into a sorority house, attend mixers and socials, and other cookie-cutter college events. But I was 18 and finally able to make decisions about my own life and what I wanted to do, without them being able to intervene. So I moved in with my high school boyfriend, who was attending the same college as me. We found this small but functional apartment less than half a mile from campus. It wasn't run down, but it wasn't new by any means. The building it was in was built in 1929, and the last upgrades to the apartment were in 2001. This was in the year 2015. Between both of us working and getting scholarship money and financial aid, we were able to afford the rent and utilities, without being on such a tight budget that we couldn't function. The apartment was 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and had a small living room and even smaller kitchen. You could walk the entire apartment in probably less than a minute, but we didn't care. It was our first taste of freedom. But we would quickly begin to regret our decision, and not for reasons you may think. It was about a week after we moved in. We were busy with orientation, gathering all of our books last minute, and attending the first week of classes, while also working a few days. So we hadn't unpacked much of anything at all. We both had the day free from classes, and he didn't have to be to work until 5 p.m., so we planned to get as much done as possible. We started in the kitchen so we could start eating more than just pizza and microwave ramen cups. I opened one of the drawers in the kitchen and found a note tied to a bundle of something, for lack of better words. The note simply said, "Good luck." I showed it to my boyfriend, but he didn't know what it was either. "What a weird thing to do," I said. "Yeah, I'd say," Kevin replied. Kevin threw the bundle and note in the trash, something we would end up regretting. That night, Kevin was working from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m., so I was on my own. I was planning to get some studying done and catch up on social media. I had only been gone from home for a week, but it felt like a lifetime ago I was going to the movies with friends and talking about boys with the girls. I wanted to chat with my best friend Anna and see how her first week in Tennessee was. After reading far too many pages in my American history book and taking so many notes my hand was cramping, I decided to call it quits on studying. I changed into the most ridiculously fluffy pajama pants I had, grabbed some nail polish, and put on an episode of Gilmore Girls. It felt like months since I had had some me time. I was halfway through painting my left hand when the sound on the TV suddenly went full volume, scaring me enough to make me drop the bottle of hot pink nail polish in our light gray comforter. I flew up out of my spot, grabbed the remote from the nightstand, and smashed the volume button all the way down as if my life depended on it. Shaking, I went to grab an old towel to wet down and scooped up as much of the nail polish as I could from the comforter, in case it was still salvageable. It took nearly an hour to calm down and stop shaking. I know it sounds ridiculous, but being alone in a new apartment and having that happen was a little more startling than it would have been if Kevin was home or if I was back home at my parents' house. Later, after watching an hour of mindless videos on my phone because I wasn't turning that TV on, I went to make a late-night snack and grab a bottle of water before climbing into bed. As I was scrolling through social media, I must have drifted off to sleep, because I was rudely awoken by something making noise in the living room. As I woke up more, I realized it was music. We didn't have any kind of stereo or smart speaker that played music, so I was confused about how I was hearing it at the moment. Walking into the living room, I realized the music was coming from one of the unpacked boxes. When I opened it, the hairs on the back of my neck stood up. The custom music box my boyfriend had bought me was wide open and playing our song. I slammed the cover shut, backed up to the couch, and sat down for a moment, trying to rationalize how the music box just suddenly opened up on its own, in a box that was sealed up tightly with packing tape in a living room with no windows or doors open. I couldn't rationalize it, no matter how hard I tried. I sat there on the couch, wide awake, until Kevin came home at 5:15 the next morning. I was too scared to go back to sleep. I wish I could say that was the final, scariest experience, but it wasn't. A few weeks later, once again, Kevin was pulling an overnight shift. I was finishing up a 20-page essay for English Comp, and it was already 1 a.m. I realized upon finishing that I hadn't had dinner yet. I was too anxious about trying to get the paper done on time. So I wrapped up, saved it one more time, and headed to the kitchen. I instantly felt a shiver, almost like the kitchen was 10 degrees cooler than our room. Planning to hurry through making a sandwich so I could burrow under the covers and watch some mindless videos, I opened the fridge to grab the meat and cheese. But before I could close it, the freezer door flew open and hit me square in the forehead. "Ow," I said out loud. "What the heck?" But whatever made the freezer open wasn't done, because all 3 kitchen drawers flew open at once. I screamed, ran to my bedroom, grabbed my phone and purse, hopped in my car, and drove to Kevin's work. I was so hysterical that his coworkers probably thought someone had died. I stayed with Kevin at his work until he was done nearly 4 hours later. I refused to go back home alone. We spoke to the apartment manager about breaking the lease so we could move out. I told my best friend Anna everything once I was cozy in a dorm room after breaking the lease and moving out. She said, "Oh my God, that was a bundle of sage. The previous renter was trying to warn you. Sage cleanses negative energy." I knew Anna would know what it was, if anyone would. She was always into the paranormal, and I was always dismissing her. Now, I'm deeply interested in hearing others' experiences, and I'm loving your channel, so I had to share mine. Thank you so much for those kind words, Kirsten. It really makes me happy that at least one person out there is enjoying my channel, besides my friend Liz, that is. And another shout out to Liz for encouraging me. This is actually my 30th video, 30 days ago, which means 31 days ago I was talking myself out of uploading, panicking I would be terrible at it. Now, I'm still terrible at it, but I'm improving every day. Thank you to everyone out there, including my silent listeners and those who see this video in the upcoming days, weeks, months, and even years from now. As always, if you would like to hear your story in an upcoming video, drop it in the comments below or email it to the address in the description below. And with that, I'll see you tomorrow, friends.